Hey, good morning, everyone. This is James with Overland Life. Today, I am going to talk about the project I did last week on Friday and Saturday. Always trying to upgrade the Jeep for camping, overlanding, and storage is always an issue. So, on this episode, I am going to cover my latest uh, task I did with upgrading some storage, giving me some more room inside the Jeep, and just in general making things a little bit easier to get to when I am out in the field. So give me a minute and we will get this going. Alright, so here is my latest project for storage solutions. You can see on my rear back windows I have added these Home Depot rigid Pro Gear System Gen 2 boxes. They're super sturdy, they're waterproof, and it's not like some of the other ones you can buy like online that are $200 for each box. Okay, these were, I think, $49, and they're lockable, which was super important to me. So what I have is, it's a Joytus, Joytus. It's a bracket that mounts for my 2012 Wrangler. There is no gutters up here like the newer ones. So it tucks in under the hardtop, and up here there is a bracket that goes across. There is a piece of plastic with a rubber at the bottom. You do have to drill holes through your top. That's what you got to do. Otherwise, you got to put some kind of bar across. And I'm trying to limit the amount of bars I have going across mine because of my solar panels that are up there. So I went with this option. So Joytus, these brackets, I mounted them, and things you have to be careful about, I will show you inside before you even drill a hole. Make sure you are checking this, because I almost made the mistake and didn't check this. I'm glad I did. Otherwise, I'd have 8 extra holes in the roof of my hardtop. So hold on a second. Okay, so you can see right there are those 2 bolts. And if I move this over, you can see down there is the other 2 bolts. What you have to be careful about is it is very deceiving from the top and the bottom. On the inside, sorry about that, on the inside, the ridge that runs along doesn't go as far as it does on the top. So if you try to drill a hole through the top where you want to spread out those arms for the bracket, you end up in a thick part like this, which means the bolts are no longer long enough to go all the way through, and then you end up drilling 2 holes underneath. So you got to make sure you are marking inside and outside, taking measurements to make sure you are not just drilling holes that aren't going to go all the way through the hardtop. If you try doing it on this thicker part, then you have a gap of maybe about an inch and a half between the 2 layers of fiberglass. So you want to make sure you do it on this thinner part here, which is just 1 layer. Otherwise, you're going to sandwich it, and then you might end up cracking it because you might tighten it up too much. But give me a second. Let me show you the top. Okay, here's the top where it mounts. You can see right there by where the bolts are that there's a plastic piece and it has rubber on the bottom. So it seals up so there's no leaks. We did get torrential downpours last night, and there was no leaks on the inside. So I know that they're holding up. There's the other one. Here's kind of a look at the bracket. They're kind of adjustable when you put them together. You want to put them together loose. And then once you get them mounted into place, then you kind of tighten it all up where it's nice and snug. There is a rubber grommet right there down at the bottom. So in case it's too snug up against the side of the hardtop, it doesn't mar it. And there is also one at the top. You can see that one is actually touching. But so that's how that works. Give me a second and I'll show you the inside of these rigid cases. Okay, so here's the rigid cases that I use. I also got some master locks. They got kind of like a rubber liner and bumper and a little flap that kind of keeps the elements out of these locks, and they are heavy duty. These things are pretty durable and thin. I got them at Home Depot also, and that's a pretty sturdy lock right there. That's the lock. Got two clasps. Then it opens up. As you can see, no water got inside. It is totally dry inside here. On this side, I got my propane. Let's see. Yeah, those are all dry. Got my propane, my hoses, my refillable canisters, propane canisters, Flame King, I think. These are the ones I use now just because you can reuse them. And they're the only ones that FDOT will approve of having inside your vehicle if you have to put them inside there. But it comes with these separators. It also came with, let's see if I have them on this side. It also came with one of these for each side. I'm going to repurpose them inside the Jeep for some storage, but that's some extra storage right there that usually just pops in on one of these. I thought those were going to be super handy inside the Jeep for storage. So that's what I'm using this for. So on the other side of the Jeep, what I have in there is I have a shovel, I have two soft shackles, I have my pulley wheel in there, my friction ring, and a couple other things in there, extra quart of oil. It just helped free up a lot of space inside my Jeep where this stuff is now not in there, and I can put other stuff I need inside and don't have to worry about it having to dig everything out to get something out. But so that's the cases. It's durable. It's on there. I've been driving now for 3 days, put on, I don't know, about 100 miles just to make sure they weren't going to go anywhere and make sure I wasn't getting any excessive noise. What I will say is one thing they do kind of inhibit is when you are looking out your side mirrors, obviously these kind of get in the way a little bit. You can still see behind the Jeep, but if you're used to seeing like clearly from top to bottom out the side, these obviously get in the way a little bit. But other than that, I think it's going to be a good addition as far as having equipment I need handy where I don't have to go digging through everything, especially if I'm camping out of the back of the Jeep. Then I don't have to move everything to get to my cargo dog system for when I want to cook and whatnot. By the way, cargo dog system for Wrangler JK, awesome. I've had these in here for 2 or 3 years now, and it's so much more versatile than having the back seat and having to flip it up and down and getting that uncomfortable gap in between and it being unlevel. This is perfectly level with the back. They're lockable. There's another storage in here that locks, and obviously another one of these on the other side, totally removable, and you actually save a little bit of weight when you put these in as opposed to having the seats in there. All right, something else I'd like to point out, and I should have when I had this opened, is with the Joytus kit for the bracket, what it comes with, let me take out one of these and show you, what it comes with is these little knobs right here. Super handy. That way here, if I just want to unmount the boxes, super easy to do. I just unscrew those and I can pull the box right off if I don't want them on there for any amount of time. I probably plan on keeping up there, unless I plan on going into the like to a big city or something like that and just want some extra protection to make sure nothing's going to get stolen. Other than that, those screw right off. Those storage box comes right off. Okay, quick and painless. That's all I have for you today. I just wanted to show you guys that project because I have not seen a lot of people do that as far as trying to get some extra storage space without going up high and putting all that weight up at the top or on the sides. These Joytas, when they advertise them as far as holding 4 gallons of gasoline or 4 gallons of water. So that's about 33 to 35 pounds that they can hold, that I know of. They might be able to hold more. I'm not going to put that much on there, so I'm not worried about that. But if you have any questions, send me a message and I will get back to you. Other than that, keep your tires in the dirt.